For example, you need to send some urgent documents, cannot be sent by email or some things, or some special requirements, some spare part or some things. And immediately we can organize and to put in the drone and within 20 minutes on board.
Yeah.
This kind of technology is allowing us to get much better and better.
Welcome to the Shipping Podcast, where I meet interesting maritime professionals sharing their passion for the shipping industry and their everyday job. I am your host. My name is Lena Gothberg. Hello, Shipping Podcast listeners, and welcome to episode 215. This is a sponsored episode. It was a long time ago that I had sponsored episodes. You see, I'm very protective of you, my audience. But now I have decided to open up to sponsors who share my vision and my core values. As many of you know, the shipping industry stands at a critical crossroad, where the old traditions of maritime trade meet the fast-evolving digital landscape. Digital transformation has become more than a buzzword. It is a vital challenge that our industry must face to continue moving forward. And it is exciting. Nowadays, we see numerous innovative startups also in the maritime industry, one of which is MagicPort. MagicPort.ai is a Singapore-based maritime technology company with a grand vision of connecting the maritime community on a single digital platform for smart, sustainable shipping. And they reached out to me to collaborate. How do they plan to achieve this goal? Bringing key players in ship operations from ship owners and managers to agents, suppliers, service providers, and even seafarers onto a single digital platform. These key players can find crucial information, connect with trusted and reliable partners, and operate their businesses on a connected, intelligent software. This approach promises to eliminate unnecessary waste of time and resources. To help illustrate these challenges and solutions, the Shipping Podcast is delighted to announce a collaboration with MagicPort. Together we will create dedicated content focused on the digital transformation journeys of these crucial maritime industry players in a series of podcasts. One key player in maritime operations is the ship agent, often seen as the eyes and the ears of ship owners and managers at each local port. These agents are responsible for paperwork, planning, coordination, and delivery of critical services. MagicPort Ship Agency solution allows these agents to manage their complex work stream digitally, enhancing task planning, team communication, and automated documentation, all while leveraging operational data for business analytics and better planning. To kick off this series, we'll speak with Pacmar, an experienced Singapore-based ship agent who has recently embarked on their digital transformation journey with MagicPort's Ship Agency solution. Capt Sitki Kok, the founder, will join us, and Mr Osman Budak, the operations manager for their agency business. So whether you're on a ship, in the middle of the ocean, or at your office desk, get ready for an insightful deep dive into the maritime industry's digital transformation. Stay tuned.
Every conversation
matters.
Welcome to the Shipping Podcast. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Osman. I'm the agency operation manager. I have been with Pacmar 12 years. So I'm mainly handling the agency operations.
My name is Sitki Kok. I'm the ex-seafarer, and that's why everybody call me Captain Kok. So I am in Singapore last 23 years, but our companies, I'm 30 years this year. So it is such a good coincidence because 29 May, we are celebrating our 30 years anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. And what is your background? How did you come in contact with shipping? Why did you start sailing?
Why I come upon the shipping is, I study Merchant Marine Academy. And why I choose Merchant Marine Academy, it is one of the best way to see the world. So you can earn the money, you can see the world. So this is the best options. So I choose the Merchant Marine Academy and graduate, and I start to sail around the world. So I have been with America and Asia, Europe, Africa, almost everywhere. So finally is stay in Singapore, because Singapore, as you know, is one of the shipping hub. Any vessels who is dealing east to west, west to east, they have to drop by to Singapore. So I'm in Singapore. I choose the Singapore.
And what do you do? What does your company do?
Our company is doing for ship agency and ship broking. And the ship agency, we are giving the service any type of ships. When we are giving the service, we are giving for every type of agency service. Is the official agencies, starting from arranging the pilot, arranging the port authorities, regulations, and all those things, and plus husbandry things to supply the provisions, supply the fresh water, even if they require for bunker. And also we do their crew change. And even if they need some help for spare part, we can assist them. And even if they need some repair job, as agents, we can assist them. So which means anybody passing Singapore, they can leave us their everything to us, and we can take care of them.
How many people do you employ in Singapore?
In Singapore, we have 20 people.
And then you have other offices as well, I understand?
We have main office in Singapore. We have some representative office in Japan. We have representative office in Korea and Istanbul. But they are representing office. So main activities, all those jobs handled by in Singapore. They are doing those offices. They are just meeting customer with discussing about the clients.
So what are the biggest changes that you have seen? You've been around for a while now, you told me. So what are the biggest changes in being, for instance, a ship agent?
In Singapore is not much changes.
During COVID time, there was so changes, but in generally, if nothing happened like this kind of things, usually not much change. Of course, from paper, now going to paperless, this kind of things, but in general regulation, not much changes in Singapore.
So maybe we could return just a little bit to the crew change crisis, because I think that is very dear to my heart and to a lot of my listeners as well. So what happened and how did you solve it?
In general, actually, in Singapore is the best place to do the crew change because, it's a main hub for every airline as well. There is many flight availability, even like some near countries, for example, Malaysia. So some Malaysia ports, even the owner want to do crew change. It is very hard for them to arrange it there because they only have one, let's say, main airport in Kuala Lumpur. But the Malaysia is very big. So their ship is another part of Malaysia. So if they want to fly to Kuala Lumpur, let's say they need to take another domestic plane and so much land transport. So what they usually do, even from Malaysia near to Singapore port, they just come to Singapore and fly from Singapore. Or same thing like Indonesia also, like Batam. We are just a 40 minutes ferry journey away. But if they want to go from Batam, they need to fly to Jakarta first because that is the only main airport. So many of the actually owners, even though their vessel is not in Singapore, but we're doing their crew change through Singapore because more convenient and more easier. In general, of course, for the crew change, Singapore is quite good for every kind of owner. Like I say, it's a small island, so very convenient for everything. Like even land transport, you can port from the airport, you can go 30 minutes. Like some ports, maybe the crew traveling 8 hours by car to reach the airport, and so much traffic, missing flight. So that is the actually makes Singapore quite attractive for the crew change. And of course, also the many of the procedures, Singapore is very transparent port. I mean, everything is in the book. So as long as you comply, you can do not. I mean, I don't want to say it, but some ports, the owner knows very well. Besides the book rules, there is some other things that you need to do it to make it. So that actually making many owners to choose Singapore because it's straightforward. If you do this, you will able to do your crew change. But some ports maybe they have difficulties, even though they comply the regulations. Still, some things they cannot do it. So Singapore best thing is that one. If you comply, you no need to be worried that you will be having problem for the crew change.
So you say that, Captain Kok, you said that nothing much has changed for since you started, which sounds to me, I think some things have changed. But how do you see the future then? What do you see in the future that will be changing?
No, it's changing, like Osman says, they become more modernized and become more easier. For example, before when we are making a clearance on the ships, we have to go personally to take a port clearance to deliver the ships. But nowadays, you can just do, agents can do from office, can send the ships by mail. So the captain just print out, port clearance is in hand. So this kind of there are changes. And also Osman mentions in Singapore, everything regulated and you have to apply accordingly. I mean, you need to do everything on the SPAR book. So it will be the easy, convenient place as before. In future, it will be the same.
Okay, so it will be more transparent and it will be more efficient, I understand, to do this in another way?
Yeah, we can say that.
Why didn't that happen before? That's my silly question to you.
No, that's one is like a nature of the business because, I mean, when I start here, we used to use fax. Nowadays, no fax. Isn't it? Something like that. The time is changing, system is changing, and slowly. And so in future, what it can be changed, it can be more easier, maybe. For example, we just started another things is when you need some small spare or something, we can send by drone in Singapore.
Wow.
Yeah. For example, you need to send some urgent, some documents cannot be sent by email or some things, or some special requirements, some spare part or some things. And immediately we can organize and to put in the drone and within 20 minutes on board.
Yeah.
This kind of technology is allowing us to get much better and better.
That must make a big change, make a difference, a big difference, I understand.
Yeah, that is actually the Singapore. The good thing is that one. I mean, like last time there was a fax, then phone, email. But even though now this technology is available, some ports is still using the old way, So Singapore good part is whatever the technology improve, they integrating their system. So that make more convenience and more people choose Singapore is because of that. I mean, there is still ship owners knows that still many ports, still you need to bring all the certificate, everything physically, then they write by hand and you need to take it back to ship. I mean, still, even though technology changed, many ports never adapted. Singapore advantage is they immediately trying to adapt and integrate these systems to their systems. So that make quite actually efficient in choosing the Singapore.
And the same goes for payment, I understand. I mean, it used to be in the old days a big bunch of cash, and now it's different.
Yeah, exactly. Singapore, that one also very, closely, because, now even no need to bank details with your name or your phone number. They call it here pay now. So immediately they can transfer to you. Like you just transfer by your phone number. Of course, the person need to inform the bank that this is my pay now. So many times we are happening, like owner is calling us, okay, I am in the workshop now, my spare part ready, I need to pay this supplier. So we just tell them, okay, give me their pay now. Then from my phone, even I can just transfer their money and he can immediately get it. We are actually this kind of experience, a lot of, when you say payment, even other ports owner is asking us, okay, can you help me for this port? And we just tell them, okay, do you have any Singapore bank? So we can just immediately give you a Singapore bank. So they says, okay, I have, just send. So even another part of the world, we can settle it, their payment from Singapore very easily.
Who's driving the change? I mean, is it you as a company who wants the change, or is it the clients, or is it the authorities, or who is changing? Who's doing this big change into digital transformation? Where does it come from? Who is the initiator?
All each other the pushing. For example, what we want, the clients wants the quick, fast things, and we want, and the port require. So when the port see there are opportunity, so it will be the beneficial for all. So it is, all links each other, but still we can say them is, for example, especially for government rules and regulations, we should thanks to them, because if they don't integrate it, we can't do that. Only we require, we ask, but end of the day is for automations or this kind of things is government, our port authorities, they are doing. So we are applying. And also we are pushing them or asking them to do. This is vice versa.
Is there a difference between, I think, the young people, they don't know anything else about digital. But people my age, we used to know handwriting and telefax, things like that. Is there a difference in mindset between the young people and the little bit older people?
There is, but for me, actually, old people is more lucky than the young one. Because young one, they don't have any experience or any knowledge about writing. So at least we are, the new generation, if you compare, old generation, maybe a bit slow to adapt the new technologies like the new generation, but they also advantage to them that they also have the previous one. Because, if you never look at map and find your way, only you do with GPS. And if the GPS spoil, young generation will not, able to find the way, but old generation still. So everything have some advantage and disadvantages. But of course, it is good to improve.
So I understand you signed up for the MagicPort. Why did you do that?
Oh, because we are, in general, our company policy, we are open for all new things about and developments. Like Captain Kok says, actually, drone also just started in Singapore, and we are one of the pioneers that's supporting it. So MagicPort also same, because we see they are trying to do something which is the future. The future is going there. Maybe not today, tomorrow, but next 5-6 years or 10 years, it will go there. So why we won't be the part of it, Many years later, we can say, everybody will say, thanks, I use this technology, but everybody will have a regret that why I never start earlier. So we want to reducing our regrets later. We start this time, we never lose much things,
So what do you expect from it?
Like the same, like everything is now going to digital. So it's a platform that combining many of currently we do by paper, doing it in digital. So Of course, beginning everything is, I have one story about it. I will not tell the names, but a few years back, we actually meet one developer. Actually, what they were planning to do is they want to do an application, same like how we are booking a taxi from the phone. So they want to implement this one to the boats. So you no need to go to boat counter, write, sign something. From your phone, when you're going to port, you can just book your boat. When they first start with the MPA, of course, Singapore port actually quite supportive about that. Whoever have this kind of new ideas, they will not only by word, also by funding, they will give a money. So this company come to us and then they says we are coming with the MPA support. We want to develop this. Then we says, okay, we want to join. We want to help you also to improve, and same time we want to be part of this. Of course, then they go to all the boat companies and they tell that because this is a two-way things. You must have the boat companies and you must have the client. So clients, we are the client, but we need the boat to book. So they go to all the boat companies and they says that, okay, we are going to start this app. Everybody will book their boat through app, and all the boat companies tell to them, impossible. This kind of things impossible. You see, this job have this much things, this much things, this much things. How you can combine everything to electronic, or it cannot be. Then they says, no, we try. And among that, for 16 or 17 boat company, maybe 2 of them only says, okay, we try. And now in Singapore, the one who reject, they are now going to this company and asking, can you do this application for me? Actually, many years back, they begging them 3. Now they are selling them this product to them because now, it become the marketable. So I'm seeing many of this kind of application or developments is the same. Like now, maybe you may not want it because old way we always used to do it, but 5 years later, we will go and pay a lot of money to purchase this product to integrate our system.
I get it. So, just to have a feeling of what it will mean for you to be more digital. How many port calls do you do a year? How many ships do you welcome to Singapore a year?
Monthly, we're doing around 100 plus vessels. But of course, Singapore have big opportunity for it. Like daily, even 2,000-3,000 ships in the port.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think how it will cut costs for you, of course, to be more efficient and to maybe be more digital and so on. Because that must be one of the reasons that you are also trying this out.
Yeah, the basic thing actually, the artificial intelligence, they can remember many things you usually doing. They can store it. So how it help actually, because many things during the operations, there is many things need to be follow up. So, and same time, these things, if you, let's say, keep it in a paper, later, if that paper lost, then you have no, you need to write that paper again, and whoever sign on it, you need to make them sign again, and you need to find that people first, because maybe these things happen 1 month later or something. Or if you do it by paper, sometime later, your office will not have space to put all of that papers. So you need to move it to the storage place. And let's say 1 year or 2 years later, you need only one that paper. So you need to go to warehouse, open all the boxes and find that paper. But if you in digital, you can just fingertips a fifth word and that document is in front of you. Cost size, we can put many things like, okay, if paper, first, I'm not telling the time we lost for the typing it, writing it. Later, when you need to find the transport, go to the warehouse, and you need to spend how much money. You can calculate the money you're paying that person for searching. And yet there's a chance that you cannot find it. So all your effort can go. But in digital also, the most convenient thing is you can store it cloud, not even physical somewhere. And you can keep same document, maybe million copy in million places. Even one loss, another one, you can find it in a way.
Yeah, and why shouldn't we be doing that as every other industry is doing the same thing?
Yeah, for me, everybody will go there actually. But only depends on the time, Even now, shipping industry, they are going for this kind of, okay, even though this is my idea only, I don't think and I don't support that ship should be totally automated. There has to be person on the ship. That is, no matter how much the technology improve, because it's a giant huge iron swimming in the water, So you cannot leave it totally to computers. But when you see now, most of the ship most of the ship is going to be automated one. Even now, some of our clients is building a ship. The ship itself directly connect to the maker. So the ship itself reporting to the maker, hey, one of this part have some problem. Can you check? Or it's calculating and telling to the supplier, hey, my oil is going low. Can you find in this port oil for me? So, the world is going that, technology.
So how do you see the future? How do you see your future as a ship agent, Captain Kok? There are so many changes going on at the same time. How do you view the future?
No, it will be similar. We will continue to act as agents, and the ships have to carry the people's need, because in the world is 90% of the goods carried by ships. So all the ships have to pass Singapore. So we will continue to service to them, but it will be maybe changes, slight technological way. But at the end of the days, I feel we can continue another 50 years, 100 years.
That sounds good. I think I should start by congratulating you on your first 30th. And much more to come. So thank you for participating in my podcast.
We also thank you to giving us this opportunity. Actually, for me, it is my first podcast, by the way. I have not done any of it before.
It's my first podcast in a way as well, but I've been doing this for 7.5 years now. So I'm starting to get the hang of it in a way. But I do have audience in more than 200 countries, and very many young people do listen to podcasts. So thank you for participating. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Every conversation
matters.
Thank you, Captain Kok and Osman Budak from Pacmar for contributing to episode 215. I know that people who are listening now will visit magicport.ai to see what MagicPort is up to. Thank you for listening. I'm waiting for your feedback. And until the next time, from me to you, over and out. Thank you for listening to the Shipping Podcast. Don't forget to tell everyone that you meet that there is a shipping podcast available and that they should download it and listen to the maritime professionals who are sharing their passion for the shipping industry.